What's going on? Happy New Year. It's Mistress Carrie, and welcome to the final episode of Cocktails in the War Room for 2025, episode 335. And with the new year comes another year of Cocktails in the War Room, something we've been doing since March 14th of 2020. At the beginning of the pandemic, we did 80 shows in a row. We had to give our livers a break. We launched the Mistress Carrie podcast, and then we turned Cocktails in the War Room into a weekly show where we get together on Tuesday nights to have a drink, to talk about music, to talk about what's going on in the world. And since today is the final Tuesday of the year, episode 335 is going to be the last episode for 2025. So welcome to the show. We didn't get together last week because I was preparing for the onslaught of family for Christmas. What's up, Alexis and Sherry? Also, Eric and Donna, Christy and Ash. Let's see. Brian on YouTube, Alicia and Marcy. What's up, Travis? Happy New Year. And if you're joining us for the first time, allow me to introduce you. Come over here. Sit down. This is Wednesday and this is Friday. I'll turn the pug cam on for you guys so you can meet the hounds of hell that basically disrupt the shows starting right about now. Here you go. You want cookies? Good girl. This is what happens. We turn the pug cam on and then the world goes crazy. What's up, Lou and Kim, Jonathan Bish, Carol and Kim? Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. Whatever it is that you're celebrating. Even, just Happy New Year. I busted out the bubbly for this one. So cheers, guys. A little special champagne flute. I didn't want to pop open a whole bottle, so I just got the itty bitty little one. It's like a nip of champagne. Actually, Prosecco, technically. Cindy on Instagram says, oh, they're cute. They are going to disrupt the show in any way they can, anytime they can. But you can find them on Instagram at Wednesday the Goth Pug. Sit down, Wednesday. Sit down, Friday. Be good. No, back up, sit. Back up, sit, down, no, down. Friday hasn't learned down yet. Wednesday has. Yes, you guys can have cookies. Good job. Okay. So hopefully you guys had a great holiday. Hopefully Santa brought you everything that you wanted. I wanted to show you guys my new shirt that my sister got me. It's a takeoff of the Joy Division t-shirt from the late 70s. But it says Pug Division. You see the pug in the waves? People wonder where I get these things. It's because creative people that love me find them for me. Everybody in the family got crazy t-shirts from my sister this year, and I got the Pug Division shirt. So Donna says, what's up, Puglet? Hello, Denise. Hey, everyone. I hope you had a great Christmas, she says. Absolutely. Betty says, love your glass. Exactly. Cindy says, tell Sully hi. Will do. Bish says, when people watch the ball drop, Keith just drops his pants. It's what he does. We're lucky if Keith here in the War Room has pants on any given day. So I wanted to talk to you guys about your favorite gift that you got this holiday season. And I don't mean that in a materialistic way, like what's the most expensive thing you got. This was the year of the weapon for me, which was a little bit strange. I got an auger for my garden, which was fantastic. The Secret Santa at Laser in Springfield got me this knife shovel thing that's supposed to help you plant like bulbs, which is dangerous. I also got a metal grinder and one of those, have you seen those little itty bitty chainsaws that cuts like little branches? My sister bought that for me. And then I got this from a very good friend of mine. I wanted to show it to you. The fuel source is not hooked up. I'm going to preface that. So I cannot use it in the house, but I wanted to show you guys. I got a flamethrower for Christmas, and it takes those Coleman stove tanks that screws right here, and then it has a electronic ignition, and flames shoot out of here. Flames. So, happy flamethrower Christmas. I also got a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts gift cards from Mr. C, which was fantastic. The matching pajamas were a thing. We got Santa PJs this year. Cindy says, my favorite thing that I got, my granddaughter. Carol says, being with my grandchildren and family. What's up, Jessica? Bish says, favorite gift for Christmas was being able to celebrate it with my mom. Absolutely. Actually, today I was reminded by my Facebook memories that my mom's funeral was a year ago today. And so, Bish, I know exactly what you're talking about being able to celebrate with your mom. I couldn't believe it that her funeral service was a year ago today. Just going through, because obviously our first Christmas without her was a few days after she passed last year. But the idea that this was like the first back to normal holidays, meaning last year everything was just so rushed because we were trying to put the services together. And I just can't believe that her services were a year ago today. It's just crazy. Alicia says, that flame gun is badass. I almost got one of those for Tim, says Melissa. Tracy says that is awesome. You don't need a snowblower, says Lou. It doesn't throw the flame very far. It's like a couple of feet, but it definitely would defrost something in a pinch. But we did put our Santa PJs on and go out into the driveway Christmas Eve to see like how far we could get the flames to go. Friday, you're sitting on the cord to my headphones. And that was kind of a hilarious Christmas moment. That's kind of how we spent Christmas Eve, was testing out a flamethrower. Cindy says, I'm sorry, I don't have my mom either. Yeah, I think anybody that suffered any kind of loss like that, whether it be a child, a spouse, a parent, a best friend, the holidays just seem to kind of accentuate that void. Wednesday, where you going? Where you going, Wednesday? Wednesday, what do I got? Come on. Sit down. Sit. Good girls. Let me put the pug cam on so everybody can see your beautiful faces. Can I have your paw? Thank you. Can I have the other paw? No, I want the other one. Friday. I want this one. No, this one. Yeah, I know. Wednesday. I know. You're very... Sit. Paw. Paw. There you go. Good girl. This cold weather has been wreaking havoc on the arthritis that Wednesday is starting to develop in her hips. So she has been a little slow. What's up, Rachel? Let's see. Eric says, Carrie, we had a Christmas miracle before Christmas. My little bro had a Christmas talent show at his school. He sang Lady Gaga, 1,000 Doves. It was our mom's favorite song while she was dying from cancer. And he sang it, and it was... hold on, the comments are going crazy, so I'm trying to, and he's saying it, it was like having, and it was having voice cracks, and he ran off the stage crying. My friend Bobby, former Red Sox player, his dad works in the music industry. I sent him the video and told him what happened. Got a letter back from Gaga herself saying that's a hard song to sing. I hear you from Chicago, but also from Boston, in an envelope, 4 tickets and VIP passes. I would love to meet you and hug your family. And as that song is about love, can't wait to see you guys in Boston. Sincerely, Mistress of Mayhem, Lady Gaga. Eric, that is unbelievable. Oh, I'm kind of jealous. That's amazing. A Christmas miracle for sure. VIP tickets to Lady Gaga, pretty badass, absolutely. Brendan McKenzie says a flamethrower is always good to help protect your house from wet bandits. Friday says, just give me the treats. What's up, Mr. Cole? He says he's binge watching the series Vikings on Netflix. The holiday season is a great time to binge watch stuff. I started rewatching Yellowstone because that's just what happens around the holidays. Janine says, lost my mom when I was 14. Every first family event without her was the toughest. Absolutely. I totally get it. Betty says, I was very mobile on Christmas. We didn't sit down to a Christmas dinner, so we took it on the road. My son put the turkey in a roasting pan and took some food, and we visited number one son, shared the turkey, then went to our daughter's place and shared turkey and pie. Yeah, there's a lot of running around for a lot of people. I have always hosted Christmas and Thanksgiving at my house, and before that, my mom hosted them. So I haven't had to travel for the holidays since I was a little kid, which I'm super grateful for. So Rachel says, that is awesome. She is such a sweetheart, talking about Lady Gaga. Jessica says, how's the weather in Massachusetts? It's cold and gale force wind gusts. It's been insane. Power flickered a little bit last night, gusts of over 50 miles an hour. So it has been, yeah, as Annette says in the comments, cold AF. So there you go. So that was one of the more interesting gifts that I got this year. I also got a bonfire pit for my back patio that I cannot wait to bust out this spring. So very lucky. I got a lot of amazing gifts, and just got to spend some great time with family, just kind of chilling out, sitting around. I spent a lot of time cooking, baking cookies, made lasagna, obviously. We're having a little bit of an issue right now because the freezer in my garage that is for overflow soup at this time of year seems to not be working right now. Thankfully, it's so cold outside that we can just put all the food outside to freeze, but we can't figure out if the freezer is just not working because it's so damn cold in the garage, or if it finally died and we're going to have to get a new one. We're not quite sure yet. Rachel says, hubby was working on Christmas, so mine was quiet. Donna says, I made my first lasagna this year for Christmas dinner. Donna, lasagna on Christmas is the jam. And I don't know about you guys, but eating cold pasta the day after, it's even better. So, yes. Carol says, I must have made over 1,000 cookies. Well, Carol, if you made bad cookies, no one would want to eat them. You did this to yourself. You know what you did. Michael Cole says, just started season 4 of Vikings. Eric says, Carrie, I have your crush, Jeff Goldblum, on TV right now, Independence Day. That swagger Jeff Goldblum with the cigar at the end of Independence Day. Sexy Jeff Goldblum is the best. What's up, Dave? Says, Happy New Year, family. Lou says, I bought myself a GNR ticket for Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas in August. That is a fantastic gift. As of now, Guns N' Roses not coming to the Northeast on their tour that's going to have everybody from, I think, like NWA to the Black Crowes to Pierce the Veil. Like Guns N' Roses opening acts for next year are kind of all over the place. Vacuum the coils in the back. I will do that, Melissa, for sure. We have a feeling that overnight the freezer popped open because we stuffed way too much stuff in it, and we don't know if it just ran all night and that's what killed it. We're not quite sure, so I will definitely check that out. How were the biscotti, by the way? Carol says. Carol, why do you ask me questions you know the answers to? The biscotti were delicious. You know this. Betty says, last Tuesday, a hospital employee creeped me out and was discharged the next day. Yeah, I'm sorry, Betty, that sucks. Poor Frank has been sick since the night after Christmas, and now I'm starting to get it. Annette, there are a lot of people that are getting the flu right now. Flu season is in full swing, and there are a ton of people that have gotten it already this year. They said this could be a record flu year. So do everything you can to stay healthy, get as much sleep as you can, rest, hydrate, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. All right, girls, are you being good? Do you want to say hi to everyone? Hold on. You're being so very good. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're being so very good. Yes. You're being very good. Good girls. Good girls. Yeah, you're being nice and quiet and well behaved. Yeah. They have not moved from in front of the wood stove because it has been so cold. The wind woke them up last night. It was just crazy. Carol says, wash your damn hands. Yeah, you know that we learned how to take care of ourselves to avoid sickness right here in the War Room almost 6 years ago, by the way, which is insane that March 14th of 2026, it's going to mark the 6th anniversary of Cocktails in the War Room, which is just nuts. So what's up, Mr. Carr on Instagram? So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but feel free to list all of your favorite things that you got around the holidays in the comments. Tommy says, is Espresso Pizza still running in Leominster? I believe it is, Tommy. The Mistress Carrie purple flamethrower shoots purple flames. Donna, that would be amazing. I might need to like sticker this thing out a little bit, the flamethrower. But yeah, there's no fuel tank, but the flamethrower is kind of fun. All right, so for anybody that's new to the War Room, I want to remind you guys about all the places that you can hear me on the radio. I'm hoping that there's going to be a new station in 2026, but you'll just have to wait to find out. So every weekday from 10 to 3, you can hear me on Charleston's Best Rock, 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina. You can download the free 98 Rock app and listen to the station that way, or you can just stream the station at my98rock.com. You can also hear me every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7 on 100 FM The Pike in Worcester, Mass. You can download the Pike app. You can go to pikefm.com and listen that way. Also, every weekday afternoon, you can hear me on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine. You can listen on the free Bone app or go to 1063thebone.com if you want to stream the station that way. And the newest edition, hard to believe, my 1-year anniversary at Laser is coming up on Valentine's Day. Everything that rocks, Laser 99.3 and 98.5 in Springfield, Mass. Mornings with Mistress Carrie, 6 to 10 a.m. Download the Laser app, or you can stream the station at laser993.com. And there are definitely a lot of things that we've got going on in 2026. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago to save this date, and now I can tell you what's going on. It's all the details, and the link to get tickets are on the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. But Booze, Brews, and Barbecue are going to be doing a live podcast show at the East Regiment Beer Company in Salem, Massachusetts on January 30th. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the show, it is a show that features Barry Kirch from Shinedown. And you guys will remember one of the early episodes of the Mistress Carrie podcast, John Guarnieri, who is a professional security guard who works with Shinedown, among others, who was also for 7 years a Secret Service agent. And he was on the podcast. He is one of the co-hosts of the show. So they are going to do a live Q&A at the East Regiment Beer Company, and they asked me to MC the Q&A that night. So this is going to be a little bit of everything. They want to go around the country and check out kind of haunted places. They wanted to do a show in Salem, so therefore the name Booze, Brews, and Barbecue. And so they reached out and said, hey, we want to do a show in Salem. We've got it all worked out already. And if you haven't been to East Regiment Beer Company, it's veteran owned and celebrates obviously the Salem Muster regiments where the National Guard was founded. And so if you're looking to go out in Salem, have a good time, Barry Kirch from Shinedown's going to be there. John's going to be there. Tickets are on sale now. It's not a huge place, so tickets are selling fast. So if you guys want to go to this, go to the Mistress Carrie event and concert calendar at mistresscarrie.com. I put the link up to get tickets, but I'm super excited that they asked me to be part of this. So Booze, Brews, and Barbecue live at East Regiment Beer Company in Salem, Mass. coming up on January 30th. Let's see. Brendan said, my wife got me Ozzy's latest book. Such an amazing read so far, says Brendan. Yeah, I want to get that book. I definitely need to check it out. It's called Last Rites. Louise says, I got nothing for Christmas. Louise, that can't be true. James says, love you, Carrie. So glad to see that you're still doing all the radio shit. Been a fan since AAF days back in 98 and 99. Well, James, you can also check out the Mistress Carrie podcast. I'm going to tell you guys who's on this week's episode, which comes out tomorrow. And it's the final episode of the year. So Melissa says, can you ask them to move it to a Saturday so I can go? Melissa, I totally wish I could. It's not my event. They just asked me to be part of it. So I'm not really in a position to kind of move it around, but I'm hoping that if it goes well, that it's something they'll come back and do again. So let's see. Charmed Healer on Facebook says, which city? Central here. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I think it's going to be really good. I told you guys that I was going to try and take the show on the road more often in 2026, give you guys more of a chance to come out and give you places to come and hang out with me. And I am working on ideas for live broadcasts on some of the radio shows and different events for next year as well. So there's a lot of big plans. I'm just hoping we're able to pull off all of the ideas that we have. So we'll see. Carol says, this isn't a live stream event. As far as I know, it is not a live stream event, that it's going to be a recorded event. So I don't believe it's going to be live streamed, but you never know. I don't think it's going to be, though. Okay, so we did not do Cocktails in the War Room last week. So I want to talk about the last two episodes of the podcast. So 2 weeks ago, episode 289 featured Jess Margera from CKY, who of course is the older brother of Bam Margera from Jackass fame. CKY just announced after the podcast came out some tour dates for next year. Nothing in the Northeast as of yet, but they are gearing up to work on some new music and also to announce some more touring dates for next year as well. So be on the lookout for that. So episode 289 is Jess Margera from CKY. Last week's episode 290, features Rick Emmett from Triumph. And we talked all about the hiatus that the band took of almost 30 years, how the Stanley Cup in Edmonton helped put the band back together. We talked about forgiveness and how the band is celebrating their 50th anniversary in 2026. That includes the show they're doing next summer at the Leader Bank Pavilion in Boston, which is on sale right now. And I thought Rick Emmett was really candid about what broke the band up, what made him leave the band, and then kind of how they were able to find forgiveness and to be able to reconcile and be able to put the band back out on the road. He was really candid about it. So if you have not yet checked out episode 290, it came out last week, Rick Emmett from Triumph. And the final episode of the podcast for the year, we've talked a lot about rock star kids. Obviously, somebody like Wolfgang Van Halen, Griffin Taylor, who is Corey Taylor's son, who is in Vendetta, and Ty Trujillo, who is, of course, the next generation of Robert Trujillo from Metallica. He took over playing bass for his dad's band, Suicidal Tendencies, but he also has his own power trio called Otto. And so my last episode of the year is episode 291, and it features Ty Trujillo. And we talked like right before Christmas. And so we talked about kind of what their holiday traditions are. We talked about what it was like to kind of grow up in the music business as a family legacy, kind of like Wolfgang Van Halen growing up with a very famous musician father and trying to find his own. Oh, pardon me, Friday. Go ahead, sit down. Sit. If you're going to sit. Just trying to kind of come out from underneath the shadow of your dad, especially, for Wolfgang Van Halen, your last name was the band name, first of all. And second of all, you're the only child. And third of all, Wolfgang toured with his dad and his uncle. And so now Ty took over playing bass for Suicidal Tendencies. When he was like 12 years old, he was playing bass, filling in Korn. So this kid isn't just the child of a rock star. This kid is immensely talented on the bass, just like his dad. And so Otto just released their new EP. And so we talked about the writing process of that. And so this is the last episode of the year. So episode 291 featuring Ty Trujillo from Otto and Suicidal Tendencies comes out at midnight. What's up, Ed? He said, good evening, Mistress Carrie and the War Room family. Betty says, believe this War Room event has helped lower my blood pressure. That is fantastic. James says, CKY isn't CKY anymore. Closest you'll get is 96 Bitter Beings. Deron Miller's newer project. Well, CKY is CKY. I mean, that's the band name. So you can have your opinions however you want. Let's see. Carol says, are you in your house? Well, we're in the War Room in the house. This Friday, are you sniffing the microphone again? That's why we call the show Cocktails in the War Room, because the War Room is in the house. Keith, what's up? He says, what's up, fuckers? Can we get David from Disturbed? His smooth voice is like warm milk and so well-spoken, could listen to him lecture well, he's on his honeymoon right now. John Moyer, actually, from Disturbed, came out in a recent interview saying that there is new Disturbed music that is already recorded and coming out in 2026. But the reason that the band is taking a hiatus is that they toured pretty much all of 2025 and that David just got married and they wanted to take a break, give David a chance to be married and be around his wife, but also to kind of gear up to release some new music, which I believe we're going to get in 2026. The next couple of weeks are going to be really busy. Once we get into the first couple of weeks of January, we're going to get album announcements. We are going to get tour announcements. 2026 is going to be insane. Carol says, I meant Melissa. She's like, I know you're in your house in the War Room. I was wondering why you were asking me that. Yeah, Melissa, what's the status update on you getting back into your house? What's going on? Let's see. Has Jess ever mentioned his brother Bam? Yeah, we talked about him in the podcast, actually. New Godsmack music in 2026. It sounds like, Mr. Cole Sully from Godsmack did an interview on Life in Six Strings recently and said that he had previously said Lighting Up the Sky was going to be the band's last album, but it's the band's last album with Shannon Larkin and Tony Rambola. He also said that he's in a trial period with some new musicians and that there's some big plans coming in 2026. I know there's some festival appearances and that he's really excited about some stuff and he's open to the possibility of doing another Godsmack record, but it would have to be done with these new musicians. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So, Eric says it's almost Grammy season. Yeah, the Grammys are literally like right around the corner. We should find out by March, I believe, who the nominations are for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2026. So there's a lot going on. So here we go. New episode, last episode of the podcast for this year, Ty Trujillo from Otto and Suicidal Tendencies. That comes out tomorrow. And just as a reminder that when you subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast, not only do you get the full-length episodes, but you also get the Sit Rep, which is Monday through Friday, your rock news, music headlines, entertainment updates. It's about 5 minutes long, and it's Monday through Friday. But there are also Sit Reps on laser993.com in Springfield, and also on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine, that you'll hear on the air as well. I'm sorry, I'm not petting you too Wednesday. And if you're looking for the Mistress Carrie podcast, the quick answer is that it's everywhere. Whatever your favorite podcast app is, you can find the Mistress Carrie podcast. Just search for Mistress Carrie. When you find that artwork, you'll know you're in the right spot. You can also check out the podcast as part of the Pantheon Podcast Network. You can listen to the full episodes, audio only on YouTube. And if that's not easy enough, just go to mistresscarrie.com, find the episode you want to listen to, and then just click play. Closing out the year with 149 countries that have listened to the Mistress Carrie podcast. So we have not hit 150 yet. That is a goal or a resolution for 2026, is that we get to 150 countries. If you're celebrating your birthday today, you're sharing it with Jeff Lynne from ELO, also Patti Smith, two monkeys born on the same day, 3 years apart, Davy Jones and Mike Nesmith, and also Bo Diddley. So if today's your birthday, happy birthday, cheers. Happy unbirthday, Keith, for the last time of the year. Yes, Wednesday. I know you want me to pet you too. I know. You guys are very clingy tonight. All right, so there has not been a lot of music headlines in the last week because, well, pretty much the music industry shuts down the last couple of weeks of the year. So I wanted to ask you guys, because there were a lot of amazing shows this year. I gave the War Room family tickets to a lot of shows. Backstage pass holders got tickets to a lot of shows. What was your favorite show of the year this year? What was the best time you had at a show? I have a few. Sleep Token at the DCU Center was fantastic. Taking Mr. C to AC/DC at Gillette Stadium was a highlight this year because he had never seen AC/DC live before. So that was really cool. Watching the guys in Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Seven Dust play at the TD Garden was kind of an amazing thing for me as well. Seeing friends play venues like that, just seeing concerts under those banners with, like, to play venues like that, you get to a certain level when you're touring, not just arenas, but the prestige arenas, the NBA arenas, the famous arenas, the Madison Square Garden. Seeing Shinedown at the TD Garden with my entire Wolfpack family was an amazing thing to see this year. Just watching them kick off the Dance Kid Dance Tour and to do it in Boston. Rachel says, oh my God, I need that glass, Carrie. Oh, Friday. Hold on, she's pulling my headphones off. Yeah, you got your leg wrapped on my headphone cord, Friday. That's what I'm trying to keep you from doing, knucklehead. Rachel, unfortunately, it's plastic. It's not a glass, it's plastic, but it is pretty badass. The purple skeleton hand, I thought it was very cool. Let's see. What's up to the guys in Silent Season that are checking in on Instagram? Hello, guys. Sherry says, happy birthday to Bish's dad. So happy birthday. Let's see. My dad's birthday, turning 78 on New Year's Day. Bish, that's fantastic. That's nice to be a New Year's baby. That's very cool. Mr. Cole says Billy Idol at the MGM Grand. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Seeing AC/DC at Gillette and then seeing Creed in Providence, says Bish. Silent Season says, what's up, rock on and hello. Lou says, I enjoyed AC/DC at Gillette and Mammoth at the House of Blues in Vegas. Oh, that's a good one. Happy New Year to you guys as well. Yeah, there were a lot of really good concerts this year, and 2026 is going to be the same. There's going to be a lot of really great tours that are going out, and I think you can expect even more features, more collabs, more artists going on other artists' songs, or artists that are doing albums that feature a bunch of different featured artists. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of that in rock. Denise says, every show I saw with my son was the best. AC/DC, Shinedown, Disturbed. Alicia says, meeting Lizzie was the highlight for me. Thank you, Carrie. Fantastic. Donna says, Carrie. Josh says, hi. I was on his TikTok live earlier. Hilarious. Silent Season says, we enjoyed opening for The Word Alive and Lakeview this year. But we're not biased, though. No, not at all. Not biased at all. Like I said, there have been a lot of great shows. And 2026, you would think that it wouldn't be sustainable to be as busy but I think we're still feeling the repercussions of COVID. The bands that are finally able to get back out on the road, the bands that wrote a ton of music during the pandemic that didn't want to release music during the pandemic are releasing more and more new music and going out on the road. And the way that the economy is that the bands really need to tour. Beyonce had the most successful tour of the year, followed by Oasis. Oasis actually sold more tickets, but their tickets were cheaper than Beyonce. So Beyonce at $1 amount sold more tickets. I did want to tell you guys actually that over Christmas, I watched the Taylor Swift docuseries, the 6-part docuseries on Disney Plus. And then because I watched the behind the scenes kind of making of the production of the Eras Tour, then I watched the Eras Tour concert film. Wow. I mean, obviously I didn't go and see Taylor Swift, but the production on that tour, unbelievable. Let's see. What's up, Mike? Happy New Year. Carrie, miss you. Miss your days on AAF. Mike, we all do, but there's tons of places that you can hear me on the radio, and you got to make sure you're checking out the Mistress Carrie podcast as well. So, let's see. In case you missed it, the new episode of the podcast comes out at midnight tonight, featuring Ty Trujillo from Otto and Suicidal Tendencies, Robert Trujillo's bass playing son. Just insane that kid is as talented as he is. All right, let's talk about some of the shows that are coming around next year. The TD Garden, another list of huge rock shows, including Nine Inch Nails, Bad Omens, Weird Al, Iron Maiden, and Megadeth, Rush. That's just a few of the shows that are going through the Garden. DCU Center has got Bring Me the Horizon and Journey next year. Big Night Live is getting ready to make some more announcements about tours that are going to be going through. Big Night Live has been hosting a lot of metal shows over the last few years, so you can expect more metal shows getting announced at Big Night Live in the coming year. And let's see, the Xfinity Center, more outdoor shows are getting announced all the time. You can expect more tours for the outdoor venues in New England to get announced in the first couple of weeks of January. But so far, we got Hardy, Evanescence with Spirit Box and the Nova Twins, Train, Chicago and Styx, Motley Crue with Tesla and Extreme, Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner. All of those tickets, by the way, are on sale. Creedmas down at the Mohegan Sun Arena with Sevendust is happening literally right now. Ghost at Mohegan is on the 28th of January. Kenny Wayne Shepherd at the Chevalier Theater in March. 3 Days Grace at the Mohegan Sun Arena, and that's going to be with the Funeral Portrait and I Prevail. Cheap Trick at Foxwoods, Pussifer at the Wang, Lamb of God at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Did you guys hear what happened in South Carolina with Lamb of God? That StubHub confused the metal band Lamb of God with like a Christian revival show. And so fans thought they bought tickets to see Lamb of God, and they ended up at like this Christian like tent revival thing instead. Total screw up on StubHub's part, but they had to issue a statement and say that they were issuing full refunds. Can you just imagine being there and a bunch of Lamb of God metalhead fans walk into this like evangelical Christian tent revival thing? I haven't seen video of it yet, but somebody's got to have some somewhere. Rush also has a couple of dates at the Mohegan Sun Arena, October 30th, and they added that second show on November 1st as well. And speaking of outdoor shows, the Leaderbank Pavilion has got Satch Vai, Triumph, which we talked about last week on the podcast with Rick Emmett on episode 290, Youngblood, who has been in conversations with the guys from Aerosmith after releasing the EP One More Time. Also, Yellow Card, Toto and Christopher Cross, and OAR as well. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Jessica says, I thought Train wasn't touring anymore. Well, they released tour dates, so unless they canceled that tour and I didn't find out about it, they're touring. We're also waiting on announcements on the Fenway Concert Series, and there's a lot of theories that maybe that's why Guns N' Roses and the Foo Fighters have not yet announced dates in the Northeast for next year, because they've both played Fenway Park before. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to bypass the Northeast this time around. But Fenway has not yet announced the shows that are going to be at Fenway for the summer of 2026. The Palladium coming up in March has got Lacuna Coil and Des Rocks, who were both on the podcast in the last few months. Clutch and Corrosion of Conformity, also Slaughter to Prevail, and Magnolia Park, who is supposed to be making an appearance on the podcast coming up very soon. Also, Roadrunner has got Echo and the Bunnyman coming in June. So that show and all of these other shows are listed on the concert calendar at mistresscarrie.com with the link to get tickets, including Sabaton and Pop Evil at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway, the slew of shows around St. Patrick's Day for the Dropkick Murphys, Black Label Society on April 4th, the Real Lamb of God at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on April 25th, and Bill Murray, who is also supposed to be coming on the podcast this spring. And Nothing More in February at the House of Blues, the Dropkicks on St. Patrick's Day at the House of Blues, the Hives, Guar, Alter Bridge, Filter, and Tim Montana, and also Wolf Mother. And at the Paradise Rock Club, we've got the Street Dogs. Oh, that already happened. Hold on. Social. A little bubbly to celebrate the new year. Let me get rid of that one. Street Dogs already played. Our Lady Peace in March and the Circle Jerks in April. And then City Winery Boston has got the Smithereens coming up in January. We don't have listings for the stage at Suffolk Downs yet, the big outdoor venue at the old racetrack, which has been completely redone, but they are going to be announcing tours that are going to go through there as well. Rachel says Train was on with Kelly and Mark performing the other day. So, yeah. Silent Season says love COC. Absolutely. Travis says 2026 is going to be epic. You've got a big anniversary coming up next year as well. Jessica wants to know, is Faith No More touring? No. And from Roddy Bottom, he says that Mike Patton really doesn't have any interest in Faith No More touring. Mike Patton is working on his project with the Avett brothers called Avett Patton, and they have a date in Boston, or just had a date in Boston. But no, Faith No More right now, no plans for that. Got to jam with Tim Montana this year too. Yeah, he's awesome. Melissa, yes. Yes, Jessica. Yes, I know Mr. Cole. Drink, 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 drink. Bish says, I got Alter Bridge tickets for Christmas. Bish, I will see you at that show. I will be there for sure. Okay, so speaking of Alter Bridge, there's no new releases coming out this Friday because nobody releases anything new until after the first full week of the new year. The entertainment business is just shut down. But the first big rock release that's coming in January of 2026 is the self-titled 8th studio album from Alter Bridge, which is coming out on January 9th. So be on the lookout for that. All right, last mail call of the year. Now, I apologize because some of the stuff that came in these packages is not here in the war room with me, including the cookies, Carol, because I ate them. Same thing with yours, Denise. We ate them at Christmas. But I did get this card that says, Mistress Carrie, Wednesday, Friday, and Mr. C. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. 'Tis the season to be Grinchy. Make it merry if you want to. Alexis and Jason. Thank you. Also, we got this one, which I love. It says, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family. Don't eat anything weird. Much love, Will. Yes, Wednesday. I know. You keep clawing at me. I know. Okay, so in this one, it says, Merry Christmas. Carrie, I saw these duckies and thought of you. They needed to be in your collection. Wishing you all the joys of a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Cheers, Christy. I make poor decisions. The ducky. There's that ducky. And then there's the how to assemble instructions for this ducky. that is purple with a cowboy hat. Can't even handle it. Wait, there was something else. Oh, and that ducky with the cowboy hat, see the little beer mug in there? That's why it has assembly instructions. I can't do little pieces of plastic with the pugs around because they'll eat them. But yes, ducks for the duck collection, absolutely. All right, look out, Wednesday. Okay, then, by the way, I think we're going to do Mistress Carrie Christmas cards next year. I think I decided. There's this one. Says, hope the season's happiness finds its way to your door. Merry Christmas. Love, Carol. Carol, it did find happiness at my door because you sent me cookies, which are not in this box because we ate them. And they were delicious. And then there is this card. See, where do you guys find cards like this? Like, look at that card. It says, wishing you all the cheer and none of the mess. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Love, Melissa, Tim, Opal, and Pearl. Okay, so they sent me a skeleton nutcracker with a purple top hat. And I got so excited that I put it out with all of my Christmas decorations. And then it got packed away with all my Christmas decorations because you guys know that by this time of the year, my Christmas decorations are taken down and put away until next year. Christmas lives from the weekend after Thanksgiving until the week between Christmas and New Year's. And by the time I get to New Year's Eve, Christmas is done. So I will have the nutcracker out next year, but it's amazing. And I put it out with all of my decorations. And then, hey, let's not do that. Girls, Friday, back off. Wednesday, come on, this way. You guys are going to knock boxes all over the place. So I apologize for not having it in here, but as soon as I opened it, I was like, oh, I'm not waiting 2 weeks to have this nutcracker out. It's too cool. And then this was for Wednesday and Friday. Skin and coat formula. Look at from America's Vet Dogs. Look at. Oh, these are awesome. Real chicken made in the USA, naturally sourced. No fillers. America's Vet Dogs trains and provides assistance dogs to veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders with disabilities at no charge. Your purchase will make a difference to these brave men and women. Visit bil-jack.com/vetdogs to see your purchase in action. I'll put that up there so that you can get a screen grab if you want to check that out. How cool is that? I didn't know that Vet Dogs made treats. Okay, it also says this cup opens. Oh my God, it's a sparkly Stanley keychain and the cup. Oh, so like, am I hiding stuff in this cup? Is that what we're doing? It has chapstick in it. Here I am thinking you smuggle booze into shows with that thing, and you're just like, no, it's for your chapped lips, Carrie. Stop being a degenerate. Okay, hold on. The pugs are anxiously waiting to see if they can have a treat. Then there is ducks for the... oh, these ducks are hilarious. Look at these. These are clear ducks with speckles. And the New Year's duck, which is perfect for the last show of the year. From Wicked Ducks, Massachusetts. Look at these. How cool are those? All right, and then there was one more thing in here. This, I'm assuming, is for me, but it might be for the dogs. It doesn't say. Please excuse the mess. The dogs are being assholes. Literally, is there a more perfect sign than this for my house? The answer is no, not at all. Denise, you are hilarious. And Denise also sent me some cookies too, but they're not in this box anymore because we ate them. You notice a trend? Yeah, it's because they're delicious. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And like I said, I think we're gonna do Mistress Carrie Christmas cards next year. I was thinking about it. I love you guys sending me your Christmas cards, and I felt bad that I didn't have Christmas cards to send out in return. So I think that might happen next year. So somebody please remind me once we get past Labor Day next year that we need to put together a really cool Mistress Carrie Christmas card for next year. Let's see. Skipping instructions and not listening are two different things, says Keith. The Muppets or, oh my God, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. So Melissa also sent me the Hallmark Muppet ornaments this year. Rolf playing the piano and also the Electric Mayhem tour bus. I have so far, I believe, all of the Hallmark Muppet ornaments. I got the Kermit, I got Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, I've got Beaker, I've got Miss Piggy, I've got Animal, obviously. And so she got me Rolf and the tour bus. And again, like the Nutcracker, I ripped them open, hung them on the tree immediately, and then they got packed with the rest of my Christmas ornaments and put in, I have a closet that is just for all holidays. So there's Halloween in there, there's Christmas in there, there's New Year's in there, there's like summer barbecue in there, there is football decorations, fingers crossed when the Patriots make the Super Bowl, which I'm hoping is going to happen, no jinx. And so they're in the Christmas closet, Melissa. I am so sorry, I almost forgot them. They're amazing. Thank you. Bish says, Carrie going basic bitch with the Stanley Cup. Denise says, I saw it and thought of Wednesday and Friday immediately. Donna says, we need Pug Christmas cards. Getting the two of them to sit down is a little tough. I did get a really cute picture of Wednesday in front of the Christmas tree this year, sitting very not ladylike. Like, Friday doesn't have the best posture, but she definitely has more demure posture than Wednesday does. Wednesday just kind of kicks back and is like, yeah, whatever. But I did get a really cute picture of her. So thank you guys for always like seeing things and thinking of me and the dogs and the family and sending me like the most amazing, wonderful things. So, I really do appreciate them. They're amazing. And I know that Backstage Pass members got a little Christmas gift because they got concert tickets of their choice. So if you don't have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, you can get one on Patreon. You get exclusive live streams on Zoom that we do every month. Maybe we'll do one this Sunday to ring in the new year. You find out who's going to be on the podcast. I let you know when I'm traveling and I take you with me to give you updates on restaurants and places to go and things to see. You get early access to event information and also exclusive concert ticket giveaway and merch discount codes. So the Backstage Pass holders before Christmas got a list of concerts that they got to choose from, and they got to pick the show. That I told them to give me like their number one pick and then like their number two pick, but I believe I was able to give everybody their number one pick, which made me really, really happy. So Backstage Pass holders got hooked up with concert tickets for Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all of you guys. And a reminder, some of the new stuff that came out in the online Mistress Carrie store, the reflective beanies, the jack racks, the new stickers. And once we get into January and February and there's a little bit of downtime before all of the spring concert starts, I'm definitely going to be working on some new merch designs to be able to restock the merch for the spring, including some new tank top designs, which we're working on a little bit right now, but we'll definitely get to work on those after the new year. And a reminder about all the places that you can find me online, all the radio station apps where you can listen to me every weekday, afternoons on the Pike, afternoons on the Bone, middays on 98 Rock in Charleston, mornings with Mistress Carrie on Laser 99.3 and 98.5, and then all of the different places you can find me on social. And one final push and Happy New Year to all of the members of the Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group on Facebook. I checked the group this afternoon. We're at 4,800 members and counting, which I could not imagine this group getting that big when we kicked it off. But it's a great place to swap information about resources, to plug veterans events and nonprofits, to help promote veteran-owned businesses. If you're a veteran looking for a job, it's a great place to kind of sell yourself, just in case there's some places out there that are looking to hire veterans. But it's a public group on Facebook for the sole purpose of just advancing veterans' causes, outreach. There are a ton of city and town veteran services officers that are part of this group that are always there to offer insight and information on resources that you may be qualified for and you don't know. And as we get into Memorial Day weekend and the 4th of July and then Veterans Day and all of these things, there's always a ton of activity on this page as well. So if you're not a member of the group yet, just go to Facebook and look for the Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group on Facebook and you can join. And it's just for whoever wants to be involved in the veterans community. And that includes civilians that just want to be able to give back a little bit. So let's see. Betty says, I've received 2 black coffee mugs from you and both the handles met the floor while one is still intact. Go figure. Betty, you dropped them or they broke when I sent them to you? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Carol says, Happy New Year. Donna says, are we Zooming again? Donna, unless you guys in the Backstage Pass holders tell me you don't like the Zooms anymore, I'm thinking we got to do the Zooms. They're fun. Let's see. Melissa says, you are so welcome. The card came from Spirit Christmas, Spirit Halloween. Oh, yeah, that. Of course, that's where you found it. Yeah, I got to come up with a cool Mistress Carrie Christmas card design for next year. What are you doing? Are we getting ready to say goodnight? Huh? Come here, Wednesday. Come on, sit down. We got to get ready to say goodnight to everyone. Can you guys sit over here so everybody can see you? Can you guys say thank you for all... Ow, Wednesday. Fresh. Can you say thank you for all the amazing presents this year? Say Happy New Year. Yes, Friday, you get one too, Piranha. So in all seriousness, before we get out of here, it's the end of the year. Tomorrow night at midnight is New Year's Eve, obviously, ringing in 2026. And I'm definitely not a person that kind of makes resolutions. I make goals for myself about things that I want to achieve, places I want to go, things I want to see, that kind of stuff. But like life-altering kind of resolutions has never been something that I've made. But I do around the holidays and definitely at the end of the year, always like to take stock in the things that have been positive in my life throughout the year. I feel like if you're only hard on yourself about the things that you haven't done yet, that just eats away at your motivation. So celebrating the wins. We got on the air on Laser in Springfield this year. The podcast continues to grow. The War Room, I can't believe we're at episode 335 this week. It's just insane. Some great events. Silver Scream Con was huge this year. Being part of the Johnny Appleseed Festival this year in Leominster was awesome. So there were definitely a lot of highlights of things that we did this year that we haven't done in years past. And I also look back at just how grateful I am that we're coming up on our 6th anniversary. The idea that it's been almost 6 years since the start of the pandemic, almost 6 years since WAF got sold, and almost 6 years since we launched the War Room, since we launched the podcast, since I built MCHQ and started getting back on the radio in all of these different places. None of that would have happened without you guys. And so we got through another year together. A lot of hard things have happened this year. We've suffered a lot of losses this year. But we've also welcomed a lot of new family members this year, both births in our family and babies, but also welcoming more people into the War Room family as well. And so there were just a lot of really positive things that happened this year. So before we get out of here tonight, I just want to toast to you guys and thank you so much for an amazing 2025. I hope you know exactly how much you are valued and how much I appreciate you guys. And that I'm really hoping to be able to do some really cool things coming in 2026 together. So ending the year on a high note, cheers to you guys. I hope that 2026 brings us all of the happiness and amazing things that we're hoping it does in 2026. And if it doesn't, we'll be right here in the War Room to be able to support each other. And before we go Pats. So cheers to you guys. Happy New Year. I will see you guys next year. Come on, I had to say it. Girls, do you want to say goodbye? Yeah, do you want to say goodbye? Say Happy New Year. Mommy got a flamethrower. It's going to be an interesting year for sure. All right, good night, guys. Happy New Year.